They don't need to see the grind. They don't need to hear your plans. Let them talk. Let them doubt. Let them underestimate you. While they laugh, you work. While they post, you prepare. While they chase attention, you chase discipline. This world is loud with noise, but true greatness moves in silence. Stop telling people what you're going to do. Stop explaining your vision to those who can't see it. You don't owe them an announcement. You owe yourself execution. Let the results speak. Let the achievements shout. Because the loudest person in the room is rarely the one making moves. It's the quiet ones, the focused ones, the ones too busy building to bother bragging. You see, real winners don't flex, they finish. They don't talk, they deliver. They wake up early, they stay up late. They keep promises to themselves. No audience, no applause, just that quiet war between who they are and who they're becoming. That's the grind, that's the glory. You want to shock the world? Then stop giving it previews. Show them the masterpiece when it's done. They won't understand your journey. They won't get your sacrifices. They'll question your pace, your choices, your silence. Let them. You weren't born to be understood, you were born to rise. There's a power in keeping your head down and your heart up, in putting in the work when nobody's watching, in showing up on the days when motivation doesn't. That's when champions are made. Not in the spotlight, but in the shadows. Not in front of crowds, but in front of mirrors. When it's just you, the goal, and the will to keep going. See, some people love to talk about success, others become it. You've got to ask yourself, who do you want to be? Are you in it for the noise or the legacy? Because legacies are not written in captions. They're written in blood, sweat, and time. And when the moment finally comes, when the doors open and your name is called, let them be shocked. Let them wonder how you did it. Let them rewind every moment they counted you out. And when they ask, where did this come from? You won't have to say a word. Your success will speak loud enough. It'll echo through every room that once doubted you. Through every conversation where they said they'll never make it. And that silence you kept, that'll be the loudest roar of all. So build, quietly, train, quietly, struggle, quietly, grow, quietly. And when it's time, when your moment comes, don't just show up, show out, shock them. Remind them why silence isn't weakness, it's preparation. Remind them that while they were watching the noise, you were becoming the storm. Work hard in silence. And when the time is right, let your success shake the ground they stand on. You don't have to broadcast your dreams to make them real. You don't need to convince the world that you're working just work. There's something powerful about a person who doesn't seek validation, who doesn't need applause, who doesn't waste time explaining their grind. When you work in silence, you shift the energy inward. You stop performing and start transforming. You stop trying to be seen and start becoming undeniable. Because the moment you let go of needing approval, you unlock your focus. And focus is the most dangerous weapon in a world full of distractions. Most people spend more time talking about what they're going to do than actually doing it. They crave recognition before they've earned results. They want praise without the pain. They want to be known before they're ready. But the truth is, if you expose your vision too early, you open it to doubt, to criticism, to noise. That noise becomes a distraction. And distraction is the enemy of discipline. The more attention you give to how you look while working, the less energy you have for the work itself. Success is not about showing off, it's about showing up. Showing up when it's cold, when it's dark, when it's lonely, when the excitement wears off and all that's left is the discipline to do it again. It's about working when nobody's watching. When there's no likes, no comments, no recognition, that's where the winners are made, in the silence. In the hours when others are resting, in the moments that never make it to social media, in the struggle that no one claps for. You've got to learn to fall in love with the silence, with the grind that nobody sees, with the nights when you're questioning everything but still pushing forward. You've got to build your strength in private, so when the moment comes, the results can't be ignored. That's how you shock them. Not by talking, not by teasing, not by hinting, but by delivering. By stepping out and being undeniable. That's the reward of working in silence when the results speak for you. They speak louder than anything you could have said. Silence teaches you patience. It teaches you humility. It teaches you to rely on your own rhythm instead of chasing the crowd. When you're not chasing applause, you're chasing purpose. And purpose is what keeps you going when motivation disappears. Purpose doesn't care if anyone's watching. Purpose just says, keep building, keep learning, keep rising. You start showing up differently when you're driven by something bigger than attention. You walk with a quiet fire, a calm confidence, a sense of power that doesn't need to be shouted. And one day, because of that silence, because of that work, you arrive, you walk into the room, and people feel something different. They see the glow of discipline, the edge of mastery, the weight of experience. And they ask, where did this come from? And that's when you know you did it right. Because now they see what you always believed in. Now they're shocked by what you built in the dark. Now they respect what they once overlooked. The greatest revenge is success, not noise, not arguments, not proving people wrong with words, but with action. Let them doubt. Let them ignore you. Let them sleep on you. While they do, you build, you grind, you study, you evolve. And when it's time, you unleash everything you've been working on. Not because you want to impress them, but because you stayed true to yourself. You kept showing up long after the hype faded. You became the person who doesn't need permission to win. In silence, you learn who you are. You face the parts of yourself that you hide in the spotlight. You deal with your doubts, your fears, your weaknesses, and you strengthen them. You turn pain into fuel. You turn isolation into strategy. You stop waiting for the perfect moment and realize every quiet day is the moment. Every unseen effort is building something. That's the secret. Every time you work in silence, you're adding pressure. And one day, that pressure explodes into presence, into excellence, into success so loud it can't be ignored. So don't rush to be seen. Rush to be solid, to be ready, to be legendary. Because the world doesn't need more talkers, it needs proof. And proof doesn't come from promises. It comes from performance. From putting your head down and doing the work. From choosing sweat over spotlight. From understanding that you're not in this to impress, you're in this to impact. That's what changes lives. That's what builds legacy. That's what separates the great from the forgotten. Let them doubt you. Let them whisper your name with sarcasm. Let them count you out, mock your efforts, laugh behind your back, because every time they do, they give you fuel. Every laugh, every doubt, every closed door, it's just more fire. Not the kind that burns out of control, but the kind that simmers quietly, builds slowly, and becomes unstoppable. You don't need to prove them wrong with words. You prove them wrong with action. You prove them wrong by becoming everything they said you couldn't be. But not for revenge, not for attention. You do it because you know who you are. You do it because you see what they can't see. You do it because your belief in your potential is louder than their disbelief. There's a reason the greats don't bark at every critic. They don't respond to every hater. They don't waste energy trying to convert the non-believers. Because their focus is too sharp, their time is too valuable, and their goals are too big. They know that the real work doesn't happen in the comments. It happens in the dark. In the gym at 5 a.m., at the desk when everyone else is asleep, in the books when everyone else is scrolling. They don't need to post it. They don't need to broadcast it. They just do it. Because they know one day the results will speak so loudly, the doubters will have no choice but to listen. You've got to learn to be okay with being misunderstood, with being overlooked, with being doubted. Because most people can't see past the surface. They can't measure potential. They only believe in you once it's too late to deny you. And that's fine. Because your job is not to convince them. Your job is to build, brick by brick, rep by rep, day by day. You're not chasing applause, you're chasing excellence. You're chasing that moment when the work you've done in silence explodes into success so big, it echoes in the minds of everyone who ever underestimated you. You can't get distracted by noise when you're building a foundation. You can't let ego pull you off track. You can't let pride force you to show your cards too early. There's power in patience, power in precision, power in holding your vision close until it's strong enough to stand on its own. Because when you're building something real, you don't rush the process, you don't skip steps, you don't take shortcuts. You honor the grind. You stay quiet and focused until it's time to speak with results. Every doubt they throw at you is a mirror. You can let it break you, or you can let it reflect back your strength. You can use it as a reason to quit or a reason to rise. When they say you can't, show yourself you can. When they say you're not enough, become more. When they say it's impossible, turn it into proof. But don't waste your breath trying to explain your purpose to people who never had the courage to chase theirs. Just keep showing up, keep working, keep becoming. Because the moment you stop reacting and start responding with effort, everything changes. There's a level of greatness that only reveals itself through persistence, through repetition, through the discipline of showing up when no one claps for you. That's where character is built. That's where confidence is earned. That's where champions are formed, not in the spotlight, but in the shadows. In the places no one sees, no one celebrates, no one understands. But you understand. You know the mission, you know the goal, and that's all that matters. The truth is, they're not supposed to believe in you. Not yet. Because belief is earned, trust is earned. And success is earned through long hours, late nights, early mornings, and silent sacrifice. So when they doubt you, don't flinch, don't fold. Don't get bitter, get better. Get focused. Get relentless. Get locked in on the vision so tightly that the noise can't penetrate it. Because when you're that focused, nothing shakes you. You become a force. Not because you told them you were, because you showed them. So let them talk. Let them watch. Let them wait. Because one day, when the results come in, when the vision is real, when the work has paid off, they'll see it. And they'll remember all the times they doubted you, all the times they called you crazy, all the times they laughed. And that silence you kept, that quiet discipline, that will be the loudest sound of all. Because nothing shocks them more than a person who said nothing, promised nothing, and still did everything they said they couldn't do. Every dream comes with a price tag, and that price is discipline. The kind of discipline that doesn't show up once in a while when it's convenient, but every single day. The kind that doesn't need a reminder, doesn't wait for motivation, doesn't make excuses. It just shows up, over and over again. While others are making noise, you're making progress. While others are looking for shortcuts, you're taking the stairs. Because you understand that greatness isn't about what people see, it's about what they don't. It's about the mornings you wake up when no one's watching, the hours you invest when no one's clapping, the decisions you make when no one's holding you accountable but yourself. Discipline is what separates desire from results. Everyone wants to be successful, but not everyone wants to do what success requires. Everyone wants to shine, but not everyone wants to grind in the dark. You have to fall in love with repetition, with routine, with the boring work that no one talks about but everyone eventually sees the results of. Because the truth is, when you're disciplined, you don't need to force things. You don't panic. You don't rush. You trust the process. You trust that consistent, quiet effort will always outweigh loud, inconsistent energy. You don't get stronger by lifting once. You don't get smarter by reading one book. You don't get successful by showing up when you feel like it. You get there by doing it every day. By saying no to what's easy and yes to what's necessary. By choosing habits over hype. By locking into your purpose so tightly that nothing can shake your commitment. That's discipline. That's the foundation of everything that lasts. And once you build that, no one can take it from you. They can doubt you, mock you, ignore you, but they can't outwork you, they can't outlast you. They can't match the strength of someone who made discipline a lifestyle. And it's not glamorous, it's not flashy. Discipline is showing up on the days you feel like quitting. It's choosing to do the right thing instead of the easy thing. It's staying in when others go out. It's working while others rest. It's finishing when others stop. That's what wins in the long run, not hype, not trends, not talent alone. But the grind that no one applauds, the hours that no one counts, the commitment that no one else sees but everyone eventually respects. Most people think success is about talent. But talent is just the spark. Discipline is the fuel. Talent can open the door, but discipline keeps it open. Talent can make you a star for a moment, but discipline will make you a legend over time. Because when life gets hard, and it will, discipline is what keeps you going. Not emotion, not excitement. Discipline. It's what gets you out of bed when comfort tells you to stay. It's what makes you work when your body says stop. It's what tells you the truth when your mind is making excuses. When you have discipline, you don't need hype. You don't need a crowd. You don't need motivation speeches. You've trained your mind to push forward no matter what. You've turned consistency into your weapon. You've made every day count. That's the real power, that's the edge. And when you stack enough of those days, enough of those quiet victories, you build momentum. You build character. You build something no one can ignore. The people who succeed at the highest level are not the loudest. They're the most disciplined. They're the ones who kept moving when no one believed, who kept working when there was no reward, who kept going when there was no praise. They sacrificed, they suffered, they stayed focused. And in the end, they didn't just rise, they dominated. Because discipline always wins in the end. So while others are looking for the next hack, the next cheat code, the next shortcut, you stay committed to the basics. You keep doing the work. You keep waking up with intention. You keep showing up with purpose. Because that's what builds the kind of life they don't see coming. The kind of success that doesn't just arrive, it erupts. That's what happens when you give your best without needing to be seen. When you hold yourself to a standard higher than any applause. You don't chase the spotlight. You become the light. You don't chase attention. You become someone they can't ignore. And it all starts with that daily decision. The decision to do what needs to be done, regardless of how you feel. To put in the work when no one's watching. To hold the line when it would be easier to fold. To stay true when the world tells you to quit. That's discipline. And that's what builds unshakable success from the ground up.